Hello, this is Fox Markets, and I'm David Buick, and I'm pleased to be saying I'm going to be talking to Ronny Breivik, who is the executive chairman of B90, about the recovery process of his company. Now, some of you may want to know exactly what B90 Holdings does. It's a group of companies generating high-value leads for operators of online casinos and sports betting platforms. The group's portfolio of brands guides users to customer websites and enriches the experience of players worldwide. And as we all know, betting online has become a huge industry. And with the United States now more involved than ever, it's likely to increase in importance as the years go by. Ronny, welcome.
Thank you, David. Thanks for having me, and thanks for that stellar recap of the company and what we're doing.
Well, it's very important. I'm an absolute mug for your sort of company because I really love it. And I think it's part of the expansion progress. I've always had a cut at the ring in my life, and I shall continue to do so. So it's lovely to hear from a company, that is putting something into a market that gets more mature as the years go by. Let me just start off by saying that, you had a difficult period of time in the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm pleased to see your head's stuck up above the parapet. The sun is shining or beginning to shine, and the rain isn't falling anymore. And I think that's brilliant. It's been a transformative year for B90, having completely transitioned from B2C to B2B operations. What have you achieved from this transition, please?
Well, David, obviously the transition has now, as you rightfully pointed out in the beginning, it's turned us into a digital marketing company servicing the gambling sector. And we do that through leveraging our know-how of digital marketing, the sector as a whole, and then we obviously use our network to generate as much as shareholder value as we possibly can. But above all, David, I return to profitability. That is what we have achieved. First and foremost, the RNS that went out today shows that we've been able to show profitable growth every single month of the year for the first half year. We have reduced the regulatory risks, we have streamlined our operations, and we had a strict focus on cost optimization the whole time. And in turn, this has enabled us to focus on our core strengths, and this is online marketing and service provision in the gambling sector.
Can I ask you to be a little bit more specific and ask you what is driving this revenue increase and how do you plan to sustain it?
Good question. So our sustained EBITDA has been driven by our transition to B2B operations, obviously. This has significantly reduced the operational costs, and it's also increased efficiency overall. We have been able to implement a string of successful cost optimizations as strategies all across our business. The acquisition of MVIS has hugely improved overall profitability, and it's also been a blessing for us that we have been growing strategic partnerships and built effective marketing campaigns with many of our partners.
Can I just ask you in passing, are you involved with companies in the United States, as we know this is a growing area, or do you focus basically on the United Kingdom and Europe?
We mainly focus on Europe. I mean, we obviously have said on camera that the US is not for us, it's a B2C. What B2B holds is a different story, right. But currently the focus is on the markets closer to home.
Now that's totally understood. And you've obviously got a team of industry leading talents. I mean, there's no doubt about that. How have veterans like Andy McIver and Mark Blanford impacted the company in recent months?
Andy McIver and Mark Blanford are two very experienced gentlemen. The passion they have for the online gambling sector is for all to see, and their experience in building and scaling businesses has really helped us with valuable insights and guidance. Mark, as a strategic advisor, has been instrumental in the strategy pivot from B2C to B2B, as you can imagine. And this role as a non-executive director has strengthened our market oversight overall. You can imagine what importance he brings to the board table. So our experienced leadership team not only gives us a competitive edge, but with a significant amount of personal investment that aligns us with other shareholders. In short, this should boost investor confidence.
Good. Well, I'm sure it's on its way. But Ronny, could you talk about focusing on expanding B2B's partnership? Can you just elaborate a little bit more on this, please?
Of course, David. So today we're lean, we're data-driven, we're highly automated. So we're really a digital marketing services entity that drive traffic to over 200 partners currently. Partners such as Bet365, Stake.com, Common Group, and many others. So we drive traffic to our partners, but we also provide strategic guidance. So we help our partners to put themselves in a digital brand position on, speaking to our database, if you like. We help them with player interaction, and all of this is done for the very simple reason we want to maximize the return of investment for our partners, so we and they can share in the revenue share part of the deals we create. So we keep on planning to leverage our market presence and our vast network to establish new partnerships with every single proper operator there is in our sector. We have 200 partners currently, but we obviously expect to expand dramatically over the years to come. We are also obviously investing in advanced digital marketing tools and constantly building new techniques to enhance the execution of lead generation and traffic driving capabilities. Our goal is simply to deliver long-term value to our many partners and, as you can imagine, to our many shareholders.
You mentioned the launch of your Euros 2024 football campaign in your statement. Can you tell us a bit more about the success of this campaign? I mean, everybody was glued to the television or had their mobile at hand to get onto their bookmaker. So this must have been a really encouraging event for you.
Well, our marketing campaign during the 2024 Euros was very effective. It generated a strong engagement, and it obviously helped to our revenue growth. We used multiple channels for our promotions, and the results definitely matched our expectations. So this success was built on understanding the importance of the targeted marketing and then use data-driven insights to optimize these campaigns for our many partners. So you can also imagine that with many global sporting events still dominating the calendar for the rest of the year, as the ongoing Olympics in France, major football leagues starting up again in the middle of August, the European Cups like the Champions League starting up in September, we are still very, very focused on delivering for the rest of the year. And we still haven't touched on the fact that the very casino-heavy Q4 24 is upcoming, and the same for Q1 25. Again, very casino-heavy quarter that we are now preparing for and setting our platform up for, so that we can serve also casino traffic to our many, many partners.
With also, of course, the mouth-watering prospect of the World Cup in a couple of years' time, which is what makes you stand out from your competitors, and why is now a prime time for investors to get on board? I would imagine you'd love to encourage retail investors to come, to the company and enjoy the ride that you're on a roll now. It seems to obvious that many of the problems that you've had in recent years are hopefully behind you, and this might be an exciting time for you.
Well, it's been quite a ride, David, that's for sure. And you've probably seen everything that could come out of this company in the past. But we had our first maiden quarter of profit in Q1, which we reported on. And we have continued that into Q2, as we have now reported on as well. So, of course, we would definitely like to invite people to invest in our company. Everybody has to make their own investment decision, of course. But our share registry is open for everyone. You asked about what drives our competitive edge. So as a listed entity, we have access to capital that many of our competitors do not. This gives us a strong advantage to leverage the skills we have and to obviously work with a lot of partners that many others may not be able to work with. It gives us growth opportunities, and obviously this ultimately benefits our shareholders. We're highly automated, so we can run a very streamlined and efficient operation. So we're lean, we're experienced, we have a lot of shares in the company. So obviously investors can take confidence in our growth trajectory and commitment to the long-term success of the company.
I noticed that, and very encouraged with the fact that you welcome fresh shareholders, which I think gives the company a lot more liquidity in terms of its shares, which is, I think, essential if you've got a 5 or 10-year plan, which clearly you have. Can I just ask very briefly, have you got borrowing facilities there if required? I mean, I'm sure you don't need them at the moment, but will that be the situation requiring short-term finance? Are they in place?
We do not have a borrowing facility in place, no, that we do not. We're focusing on the funds we have available on our bank account that was raised in the placing that was announced to the market in September last year. And we're working on that basis, David.
Well, I think I'm probably very encouraged to hear that you don't require bank facilities. That's very good news. Well, it only remains for me, Ronny, to wish you every success and continued success in the recovery of this, what I consider to be very exciting business. Good luck to you all.
Thank you very much, David. Thanks for having me.